Okay. Our next speaker is... Hi.
Hi.
Hi. Great. Nice to meet you.
Nice to meet you. Okay. Thank you for having me. I loved everything that I saw yesterday and in the morning.
Well, thank you for participating.
It's very well set up, and let me kick off what I prepared for this morning. At least it's morning here in Amsterdam. It's not so sunny at the moment, a little bit cloudy. It's 24 degrees Celsius, so it's pretty hot in my room here. Start to sweat a bit. We're EOS Amsterdam. We're a candidate. We have been producing blogs for the last 3 weeks. We dropped to 23, 24 a couple of days ago. So we're lacking a little bit of votes right now, a little bit of 2 million votes to produce blogs again. We're, I think, a little bit different than the rest of the blog producers. We co-founded with a lawyer because I saw that this EOS system with the whole governance needed the specialty of an expert in arbitration, in law, in all the governance procedures that we're trying to implement with each other. So when we got together, Boymas, me, we really thought that this required a different approach than just have an IT operation and some software developers. So we invited Jetse Spruit to participate in our operation. So the slide you see now is our 3 founding fathers. Let me introduce myself a little bit. I'm a father of 2 boys, married. I'm living in Amsterdam and in the south of Portugal, Europe, Algarve. I founded a managed security service provider 20 years ago. I've been awarded with a lot of awards on entrepreneurship, fast growth, etc., etc. So I think I'm really bringing something to the table to be able to grow EOS quickly. I've been a lead angel in a threat intelligence platform, and now about 4 days a week I'm working on EOS Amsterdam. In Seoul, that's Sylvia and of course Boymas. So 3 of us were in Seoul and Shanghai. So the other 2 you probably not met, but those 3 have been in Seoul and in Shanghai. Daily we're offering a summary on the governance channel, and we have been starting to translate that daily summary to Chinese, and we will translate it to Korean as well in a few days, because we think we have to bridge the gap between the East and the West with regards to this whole governance of this new blockchain. So this is, if you don't want to spend hours on Telegram, just look for our daily summary, then you get updated. Something like 2 pages a day. Try to keep it within that limit. So it's a 10-minute read maximum on what's going on the governance channel. For today, I wanted to talk to you a little bit about GDPR, because in Europe we have a law or regulation with regards to personal data that came into effect on 25th of May this year, so just a few months ago. And GDPR and blockchain are 2 a little bit challenging concepts to combine. So I would like to talk about that a little bit. Personal data, according to the GDPR definition, is a lot. It's behavioral patterns, it's geographically location, of course, it's your name, address, sexual orientation, religious beliefs. It's a lot. It's fingerprints, it's genetic information. There's a lot that is considered personal data according to this new law. In this law, says it has a lot of rights as an individual. And one of the rights is the right to be forgotten. You see it on the left bottom. And the right to be forgotten is, of course, contradictory to the blockchain, because when it's on the blockchain, it's there forever. And so a lot of people say that this blockchain approach and GDPR cannot be combined. We disagree. I think when you approach it in the right way, you still can be compliant to GDPR and still can use the benefits of the EOS blockchain if you do it right. With Wechat on board, we have all kinds of consulting services for the community to explain you on how to implement it. The main goal of the GDPR is data minimization. So if you're a company and you want to collect data, collect as minimum data as necessary to do your operation. Of course, we see a lot of companies collecting everything of you. Well, the GDPR is trying to limit this and maximizing the rights of the individual. And it all has to do with consent. So if you want to be a client, then you approve to be a client of that company. And if you don't want to be a client anymore, you have the right to be forgotten. So that's basically, so minimizing the collection of data and protect the individual as maximum as possible. Well, with regards to the blockchain, that is still possible, but it needs a correct approach. Here's another slide, similarly stating it's not only for European citizens, or it is aimed at European citizens, but the territorial scope is really the world. There's huge fines defined up to 4% of your worldwide annual turnover. So if you're a large corporation, you have to deal with the GDPR. What will we do as EOS Amsterdam? We think, in line with what Tokenika presented earlier, is that there is room to create separate chains that more focus on certain areas. It can be a sidechain optimized for RAM usage. It can be a sidechain optimized for governance. It can be a sidechain optimized for privacy. And we are introducing the Europe chain as a chain optimized for GDPR with a constitution that fits that geographical area and is aimed at companies that want to run their applications on an ecosystem that is fit for that purpose. So a Europe chain is a mainnet sidechain, GDPR compliant, robust governance, law and code, and European DEP focused. So that is something that we've been working on. It's really in the starting phase, and we are inviting other block producers to come and talk to us and define what it would need to look like in a more detailed sense. So we need people that can help us with building this vision that we have for the mainnet and the side chains that we envision that need to be there. It's completely in line with Dan's vision. He has been inviting in the Telegram channels to come up with more solutions than only the mainnet. Of course, we need inter-blockchain communication software available. That isn't here yet. It was announced for Q4 this year. Block 1 is a little limited with information on it, so I have no idea whether it's on development schedule, or whether it will be early, but we really need the next steps to be taken on that side. Thank you. Any questions? I have this extra screen here.
Thank you, Ray, for your awesome presentation. Block producers and standby block producers in Europe is also doing really great and doing really putting a lot of effort to vitalize the ecosystem, right?
Yeah, it's a lot of work, and like New York said yesterday, I haven't been sleeping so much since I started EOS Amsterdam. It's really a crazy ecosystem, yeah.
Yeah, it's like blockchain time is 3 times faster, right, than normal.
I remember the early days when the internet started, when you almost felt the same buzz and excitement that something great was going on, and of course now you have the same feeling. But the speed is at least 7 times more quick, and it's really 24/7. It's really East and West together, and I'm loving it with people in my team from Korea and China. It's really, really interesting and exciting to be part of this. I really, really like it.
Mm-hmm. Okay, so thank you for your participation on this event.
Thank you for having me.
Yeah. I'll see you around.
Thank you. Bye-bye.
Thank you. Bye.